Good afternoon, baseball fans. You are watching LivePlaySports.tv's coverage of Notre Dame High School baseball in Sherman Oaks. I'm Patrick O'Sullivan with you for your play-by-play. We've got a good one today. It's the Mission League matchup in the thick of the Mission League race. These two schools, not officially rivals, but over the years, these baseball programs can be considered rivals. As the Notre Dame Knights, the 2017 Mission League champions and winners of the league 22 times of the last 26 years under Coach Tom Dill, face Jared Halpert, the coach of the Harvard-Westlake Wolverines of Studio City, who last won the league title in 2013. There you see the Knights taking the field, but almost mirror images of each other record-wise. Overall, 15-3 each, but in league play, getting the leg up with the first game of this three-game series yesterday was Harvard-Westlake. The Wolverines on their home field, O'Malley Field, right down the way here in the San Fernando Valley, eked out a 4-3 victory over Notre Dame. So, Harvard-Westlake sits at 7-0 in league play, while Notre Dame is at 6-1. And it was right here on this field last season we saw what was then a future number 2 overall pick of the Major League Baseball draft, Hunter Green, in an electric atmosphere, turned the tide in the series between these two schools that kind of set the tone for Notre Dame to take home the 2017 title when they beat the Wolverines here at Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, which is what you're looking at, these beautiful clear skies in Southern California. Great day for baseball. Big turnout in the afternoon, only 3:31 p.m. right now. And on the mound, as you will see if you're just tuning in for the first time, Notre Dame is stocked full of underclassmen. Today they turn to left-handed pitcher, 5'10" sophomore, number 7, Connor Skirdick. Skirdick served mostly in the closer role last year for this team, but he's been called upon in both relief and in starting situations here in 2018, and he gets the call today in a big one. And like I said, he did play his whole freshman year on the varsity squad. Umpire dusting off home plate. Infielders with a little glove tap. And Harvard-Westlake will send up their leadoff man in the form of number 21, the center fielder, Pete Crow Armstrong. It'll be lefty versus lefty to start this one. Skirdick usually mixes his fastball with his curveball. And the first pitch of the game drops in the zone for strike one. 67 degrees and sunny. First pitch. Skirdick again. Taking a ball is Armstrong, and that'll bring in a fresh baseball to the action early on as it gets away. Behind the plate, his battery mate, number 9, the catcher. Or rather, number 3, the catcher. My bad. Tommy Barris. Skirdick up high. 2-1 count to Crow Armstrong. Harvard-Westlake does not supply team stats, so it's a little bit of a guessing game, discovering these players as we go along. But we do know, and getting a look at them last year, there are some D1 commits on this team. Skirdick having trouble keeping the ball down. 3-1 count, hitters count to the leadoff man for Harvard-Westlake of Studio City. Armstrong gets a piece of it, and the count is now full. Skirdick, deep breath, taking his time. And Armstrong has to kind of crouch down for that one, fouled off. Into the campus. 305 feet down the left field line. If you're going to straightaway center, it's 370. And the right field foul pole says 310 for those left-handed pull hitters. Armstrong finds a hole in the left side of the infield. Nice piece of hitting, full count, going opposite field. And Harvard-Westlake has their leadoff man on. So both pitcher and batter battling in that one, but Armstrong gets the better of Skirdick. Second man up, number 2, the shortstop, Drew Bowser. Skirdick looks over at first. Outside to Bowser. Yesterday was junior Carter Kessinger taking the mound for Notre Dame. But on the other side, Harvard-Westlake had their ace, Sam Hilaboki. A nice rip will be caught in left field by number 2, Devin Ornelas. So look good off the bat, but Ornelas in the right place at the right time. Got a jump on it for out number 1. Runner stays at first. Brings up number 12, the left fielder, R.J. Schreck. Skirdick says, Armstrong, I have not forgotten about you. RJ last year, CIF All Division I team selection. So the way that game unfolded yesterday, getting back to that battle between Kessinger and Hilaboki, Kessinger had a 1-0 lead going into the bottom of the 6th, but then there were some unearned runs and some earned runs. Taking a Schreck, but the strike as Kessinger finds the edge of the zone. And eventually Harvard-Westlake hung on for a 4-3 victory. Hilaboki struck out 10, walked 1 in 6 1/3 innings. Schreck, dangerous hitter at the plate. Skirdick. Off the inside of the bat, fouled off. Schreck hit .480 last season with 21 RBIs and 36 hits. They check on Crow Armstrong. Armstrong, a Vanderbilt commit over at first base. Sizable lead. missing outside, 1 and 2. Skirtic trying to stay safe with the dangerous Shrek. Drifting outside, now 2 and 2 with that runner on. And they are giving Armstrong a lot of attention over at first base, guarded by Grant Berman, Notre Dame. Seen a few different players at first for them this year. Lucas Gordon, even Michael Whiteside recently. And really a chess match between Crow Armstrong and Skirtic on the base paths. The pitch lifted, popped up, Berman under it, and he makes the out, and also the runner, not knowing there was 2 outs, was all the way hanging out by second base, so a little sloppy, but Berman got under it, was able to flip it to, I believe, number 9, Dalen Reyes, and a unlikely double play, just an error in judgment, not knowing the situation by the reliable Pete Crow Armstrong, but Notre Dame takes advantage. Skirtic gets out of potential trouble, and after half an inning of play, it's 0-0. Here's the replay. Lifts the ball, regular pop-up, but the runner is long gone. There you see him into your screen, Crow Armstrong. Just not knowing the situations, folks. 1 out, and he goes on a pop-up. You just never do that. Didn't know the situation, so Berman under it, has it, and then look at this, little flip. Oh. Dalen Reyes wasn't ready for it exactly, but they had plenty of time as they laugh one off and head to the dugout on a play you rarely see at any level of competitive baseball, but they'll take it. And now warming up for Harvard-Westlake is their starter, also wearing number 7, 6'1" junior, right-handed pitcher, Jack Lemongelli. So with these teams so evenly matched, they had that 1-run game yesterday. We'll see if a play like that comes back to haunt the Wolverines, because of the quality of pitching and, of course, quality of hitting. But no matter what, if the game is tight throughout, you've got to take advantage of your opportunities. Really dodging a couple of bullets because they got Shrek to pop up, and that's a power bat. Then the speedy Armstrong was the second out of the play, third out of the inning. So leadoff man for Notre Dame, the second baseman wearing number 9, Dalen Reyes. He was the main threat yesterday, going 4 for 4 with a couple of runs batted in. Can he continue that hot streak against Harvard-Westlake? He shows bunt, but pulls back. Still a strike, 0-1. Taking again Count even. Swinging at the high stuff, but blowing it by him is Lemon Jelly. Reyes on the season with a healthy .391 batting average. Does have a home run with 10 RBIs. 2-2. Jelly gets a pretty high leg kick, brings that knee nearly all the way to his elbow on his delivery. Full count. Just as it was to the leadoff man, Crow Armstrong. For Harvard-Westlake. The pitch. Checks the swing, and Notre Dame has their leadoff man on as well, as Dalen Reyes comes up with a walk. And the similarities continue. We saw R.J. Shrek for the Wolverines moments ago. Now coming up for the Knights, number 15, the DH R.J. Gordon. Sophomore. The bunt. Coming off the mound, Lemon Jelly throws the first. They get that out, but the runner does advance. So Coach Dill, well aware of how valuable these runs can be, choosing to go with the bunt situation and advance the runner. As a replay does throw it a bit inside the base path, so good job by Calvin Koo, the first baseman. Keep everyone out of trouble. Man in scoring position, one out. Lemon Jelly getting a piece of that is 27, Grant Berman, who at times has been Notre Dame's hottest hitter at first base today. Hitting .350. The ball gets away into the outfield and now all the way to third, and it's bobbled. And boy, interesting play, because of course it's tough for Reyes, doesn't have eyes in the back of his head, but he chose to go head first slide into third while the center fielder misplayed the ball. And with his speed, he had a chance to at least turn the corner and assess things, but probably better off just staying at third nonetheless. There's the pickoff attempt. Into the dirt, into the outfield. Reyes goes. Crow Armstrong in center. You don't see it in your frame, but he misplayed the ball a bit too. Reyes, however, a sweet slide going into third. 0-1 count to Berman. Berman now in a sac fly situation, ball outside. Berman does have a home run himself to go with 14 runs batted in. That's good for second on the team. Berman with a knock into right center, bringing home Dalen Reyes. 1-0 lead for the Notre Dame Knights as Grant Berman delivers. That'll bring a mound visit, and if we can just echo back to that sentiment I was saying at the top of the inning on the base running gaff by Crow Armstrong, how vital that may be. And now you look at this, how this unfolded after the pickoff attempt Went into the outfield, advanced the runner to third. Well, Berman comes right back up with that base hit, and that is an easy trot from third to home for Dalen Reyes. And that gives the Knights the first lead of the ball game. Number 19, the right fielder, Michael Whiteside. Cleanup man, obviously, with some power as well. Takes 1-0. Comes in with a .327 average. Was 1 for 3 yesterday. He has a home run, to his credit. Lemon Jelly, the pitch. Whiteside takes a big cut, but looks like he went a little off speed on that one. Took something off it and gets it by Whiteside. 1-1, now the count. Berman. Inching his lead off first. Lemon Jelly, the pitch. Whiteside, cut. Lined into that batting cage. Everybody's safe, though. See Whiteside's back foot way on the chalk, nearly out of the box. One and two. Whiteside is becoming more and more of a contact hitter in his evolution in the high school game. 1-2 count. They check the first. Berman safe. Noah Taylor on deck, and he swings a big bat as well. And they go way outside there. I think they were just trying to see if he would really chase, but Whiteside, calm, cool, collected, 2-2 count. And that one, the opposite of the previous pitch. Full count. Number 3, Dylan Plogman is the catcher, by the way, behind the plate for Harvard-Westlake. Whiteside lifts it to center, but for Armstrong is there for out number 2. Noah Taylor, .370 average. Had a 2 home run game in the Boris Classic a couple of weeks ago. Kind of a mid-season non-league tournament held down in Orange County. Notre Dame split 4 games in that one, lost the first 2, won the second 2. And Taylor, 0-1 after he gets a piece of that. He likes to, you'll see them do that often. He steps out of the batter's box and then with his hand, looks like he's trying to get his timing down. He's kind of going through a motion. Jelly looks in the pitch. Taylor, liner, and a nice catch just in foul territory by R.J. Schreck. So they do get a run. The Knights to go up 1-0 on the RBI single by Grant Berman, but some steady defense and good sportsmanship as Schreck comes and taps Noah Taylor. I'm sure they know each other after playing in the area for years. Take a look at this. Schreck, just after he passes the foul line, secures out number 3. And Harvard-Westlake will take getting out of that circumstance with just 1 run. Another look, another angle. Extension by R.J. Schreck. After 1, Notre Dame on top 1-0. Your Sunset Group Realty Replay here on LivePlaySports.tv. We cover the Notre Dame baseball home games all season long. If you're watching live, you can tell someone else to watch live right now too, or they can visit the website and tune in later on for a replay. Connor Skirdick stays on the mound after a scoreless first. So Harvard-Westlake in the second inning starts with their cleanup hitter, designated hitter, number 9, J.P. Corrigan. Corrigan closed yesterday's game on the mound, so I believe he got the save in a 1-run ball game. Hard hit, deep and short, across the diamond. Berman can't dig it out. Not sure if he would have had time anyway. Good job by Drew Litwin, deep at shortstop. But for the second straight inning, Harvard-Westlake has their leadoff man on.
Now to play number 23, third baseman Lauren Frank.
And that will be scored, an infield single. Big hitter coming up. You can say that a few times down this lineup. Number 23, third baseman Lauren Frank. I recall last year he was a UC Berkeley commit. I have to check up on that for you. Those things can change, folks. Actually, I have a local story to share with you if we have time, kind of regarding that. At some point in the ballgame, stay tuned. Skirdick looking over to first. And now that I check up on Frank, it looks like he's listed as a Loyola Marymount commit. So staying closer to home. Oh, 2. And Skirdick gets him to wave at what I believe was a curve on a low outside. Strikeout, first of the game for Connor Skirdick. Second baseman number 6, Michael Snyder, gets his shot. Your Sunset Group Realty replay, and there it is as the bottom drops out. Very hard pitch to hit when it looks like it starts out of the zone and drops right in. The tail end, low outside corner, fooled Lauren Frank. 1-0 the count. Checking over on Corrigan. That one way high and outside. They've got a rundown going, possibly. The throw to first, then to second, and the tag, and they got him. So Tommy Barris springing up, threw over to Berman. Berman had time to turn. Throw it over to Dalen Reyes. Sunset Group Realty replay. Bat on the shoulders, but he takes. Already up on his feet. The high pitch worked out. Berman to first. Outside the base paths with the sweeping tag by number 9, showing the ump, Dalen Reyes. Without number 2. So I think you score that. Caught stealing. Catcher to first to the second baseman Reyes. Grounder, foul. Oh, nice bounce off the wall as Diego Baquero getting a practice catch in at third. Snyder still at the plate, 2-1 count, no base runners now. So Notre Dame has been able to both in kind of unconventional manners take care of the 2 base runners they've led on. The Crow Armstrong situational out in the first where he ran with 1 out thinking there was 2. And a little bit of a late call. Snyder took that half step towards first, but he'll have to retreat now. Count full, 2 outs. Connor Skirdick can work out of this one, scoreless. He's just 1 strike away. Skirdick, the pitch. Up the middle. Litwin pounding the ground, just missing it on the dive. That'll be a base hit for Michael Snyder.
Now back, number 33, first baseman Calvin Koo.
33, the first baseman Calvin Koo. Coming up. There's a look at the hustle of Snyder. The 3rd hit of the ball game, all singles for the Wolverines, and right back up the middle. There's hit number 4. Koo puts men on first and second.
Number 31, right fielder Sam Miller.
Number 8 hitter, number 31, right fielder Sam Biller. Lefty versus lefty. Skirdick, who moments ago was a strike away of getting out of this inning, now has 2 base runners to deal with. Showing bunt with 2 outs is Biller. And Tommy Barris wants to talk to his pitcher, Skirdick. Now you see the customary, there's different levels of how pitchers, catchers will raise their glove to talk to each other because they don't want the opposing team reading their lips to see what they're saying. And sometimes you'll just see it right up on the face. 1-0 count. I think the ump called time, or not sure. A lot of signals from the dugout of Harvard-Westlake. Slow roller gets past Skirdick. Reyes turns and flips to Litwin, and they get that 3rd out. So they've allowed 4 base runners in total thus far, but no runs. After an inning and a half, Notre Dame still on top, 1-0 here on LivePlaySports.tv. Sunset Group Realty replay. Skirdick, the pitch, and that's solid infield. Reyes, the turn, the flip. Steady Drew Litwin says, let's go to the dugout. We don't need this ball. We're going to go hit. Another angle. A lot of times a ball like that will die from hitting the mound, giving the base runner the advantage, but it works out for the Knights in that situation.
Hey folks, don't forget the snack bar is open. Yeah, cooking up a lot of good stuff out there. Just outside the stadium right behind home plate. They've got chili dog, and hot dog, chicken Caesar salad. They've got pulled pork sandwich, and they can make you a cheese or chicken quesadilla, among other things. So check it out. All sorts of cold drinks. At the snack bar just outside the stadium right behind home plate.
And there you hear the regular announcement in the background of the games here at Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. I'm not kidding, kind of a local legend, this snack bar, the menu they've developed. If you Google it, there's some pretty nice write-ups. Chicken Caesar salad, pulled pork sandwich, I've had that. Pretty good. So come for dinner, stay for baseball. We're right here on Riverside Drive. Or is it come for baseball, stay for dinner? I'll get back to you on that. 1-0 Knights, bottom of the 2nd. They send up number 2, the left fielder, Devin Ornelas. Ornelas, .250 average this season, would like to raise that. Also started a majority of the time as a freshman on the varsity. Takes 1-1. He was 0 for 4 yesterday. Lemon jelly. Catcher keeps it in front of him. Ornelas hit .284 last season, and there we go. He breaks out of a little slump all the way to the wall. He'll turn, and number 2 standing on base, number 2. It's a leadoff double for Devin Ornelas. You can see kind of a sly smile on Ornelas' face. He's got to feel good about that piece of hitting. Here's your replay going opposite field, just going with that pitch on the outside. And Lemon Jelly bows his head down saying, ah, that's dropping. Giving chase all the way by Gamboa from the class of 1966. Commemorated on the wall showing bunt. Diego Vaquero. Looks like the ball might have come back and hit him at least near the face. Vaquero, number 18, the third baseman. So he's okay. Let's see exactly where he hit him. Bat, plate, and yeah. Probably maybe the bottom of the bill of his helmet. But that will count as a strike. 0-1. Vaquero did have an RBI yesterday. It was 1 for 3, showing bunt still. That one's popped up into the stands, or near the stands, as it hits the netting. Catcher giving chase. Sometimes I forget how high that netting is here, which protects the crowd. From the action. There's a good look at Ornelas. Not heavily guarded at second. But Lemon Jelly says, I know you're there. Vaquero with his first kind of full-time role on the varsity this season watches 1 and 2. Six-foot sophomore. Hitting 159 in 44 at-bats. But that's a nice one. Yes, indeed. It drops just where the grass begins. And now we've got corners for the Knights with nobody out. So, a couple of hitters who have struggled of late, Devin Ornelas and Diego Vaquero, showing they still got some energy in those bats. Both sophomores. Talk about that young underclassman talent. Aplenty on this Knights roster. Coming through in a big game. That'll bring up number 10, Drew Litwin, senior leader on this team. Starting third baseman most of last year, starting at shortstop today. Been a pretty steady hitter this season, raising his average from the previous year, hitting .282 in 39 at-bats. Does have 5 RBIs and a great opportunity here to add to that total. Takes the first pitch for a strike. And Lemon Jelly kind of looking both ways before he crosses the street, technically, to his left, to his right. And now will focus his attention back on his catcher, trying to execute the out against Litwin. The pitch, Litwin bunts, and it just goes foul about halfway down the third base line. Runners will have to head on back. Oh-2 count now. Mangeli, Litwin still showing that he's framing up the bunt, but takes for a ball. Once again, that importance of getting the run home. A game like this, still a one-run game, nobody out. You at least want that man from third to score. However you can manufacture it. And of course, the long-tenured Tom Dill is well aware of that, Notre Dame's coach. Litwin takes outside, count even. 2-2, runners on the corners. Lemangeli, the 6'1" junior right-hander, trying to work out of a jam. He's got a challenge ahead of him with nobody out. Litwin shows bunt, but that was way inside. He had to duck down to avoid getting hit. But count is now full. Take a look at this. Here's your close-up. Litwin, the reaction. Get out of the way of that. That'll keep you alert. The pitch. And Litwin, who was well behind in the count, turns that at bat into a base on balls. Bases loaded for the Knights with nobody out. So Coach Tom Dill, he had Tommy Barris in the lineup. Looks like he will turn to his bench looking for a key pinch hit. And the man getting the call looks to be number 21, Chase Rowe. A senior. Mangeli looks like he's ready to go. So whoever you're sending up, send him up now. Want to get out of this. Rowe, 11 at bats this season, 273 average. He has 3 hits and 2 runs batted in. And he was 1 for 1 yesterday. So Coach Dill hoping this situation turns out like Tuesday. Is that Drew Litwin dancing at first base? Did I just miss that? I don't know what that was. Have to go back later and watch the replay. Don't want to accuse someone of dancing if they weren't. Okay, 0-1 count. Rowe with that upright stance. The pitch. Thought about it, waved the bat, took it. It's a strike. Mangeli, the offering outside. 1-2. They're trying to mix locations. Previous pitch about right down the middle. Trying to get Chase to chase on the outside. Chase Rowe, the batter. Good look at Jack Mangeli, the pitcher. He has only given up 1 run, but he has got himself in a bind right here. Nobody out. Ducks on the pond. Bases loaded. Rowe steps out of the batter's box, takes a couple of practice swings, 1 actually, Back into the box. Finding his footing. The pitch. And Rowe saw that right away, that was not his pitch to hit. Coach Alec Moss at third base letting Rowe know, you wait for your pitch, or hey, we can walk one in. We'll take that too. 2-2 count. There's the split screen, Lemon Jelly versus Chase Rowe. Number 2, the base runner, Devin Ornelas at third, ready to race on home if the opportunity presents itself. Little mound visit from Dylan Plogman, catcher. As the importance of everything is amplified in this situation. Every pitch, every decision. Lemon-Jelly, Chase Rowe. Caught at left field, but tagging from third with a sweet slide is Devin Ornelas for the second run of the ball game. Both of these runs are for the home team, the Notre Dame Knights. So Chase Rowe with a sac fly RBI in the pinch hit situation coming up big. And Coach Tom Dill, his chess move pays off. Sure, it's caught, but you take the out for the run coming on home. There you go. Ornelas. Dalen Reyes, top of the order again. Reyes walked and scored the first run of the ball game in the first inning. Runners on first and second. Taking 1-1. Reyes, a UCLA commit. Outside, missing. So I think on a lot of these pitches, what Lemon Jelly is trying to accomplish is to just hit that outside corner, but he's drifting outside the zone and missing. And these base runners are coming up with walks or big hits. That's why location is so key. That one, hard hit grounder. First baseman comes off the bag, flips it to his pitcher, Lemon Jelly, and they do get the out, but the runners advance. So coming off first was Calvin Koo. Got himself in good position. And now 2 outs. Runners on second and third for R.J. Gordon, who had a fielder's choice his first time up to bat. The pitch, taking Gordon. 1-0. Strike one. R.J. Gordon electing with the long pant look that you see most of the other players showing their stirrups, but Gordon Got the white pants all the way down to his shoes. You're watching LivePlaySports.tv's coverage of Notre Dame baseball. Campus here in Sherman Oaks. A bit of it in the background. The mission architecture. Little mound visit by Harvard-Westlake as Jack Lemongelli is battling in the bottom of the second inning, down only 2-0. But runners on second and third. And all these hitters from time to time for Notre Dame have come up clutch throughout the season. As Gordon fouls it off. Getting word that Lemongelli, who's worked these counts, a few of them, at least full, is up to 47 pitches already. That's a factor for Jared Halpert as he assesses the scape of the whole ball game when he would want to go to his bullpen, given the situation. Now 2-2, 2 outs. And the umpire says he just got the outside for strike 3. So they do strand a couple of runners, but it's been a run in the first and a run in the second, and that means Notre Dame's up 2-0 after 2 innings on their home field against their Mission League opponent, the Harvard-Westlake Wolverines. And ooh, hey, calls a strike, but it did look like it was a little outside. Your Sunset Group Realty Replay, Lemongelli getting some coaching, keep his confidence up, this young man, as they're still in this ball game. Another chance to hit coming up in the top of the third here on LivePlaySports.tv. So it will be the bottom of the order for Harvard-Westlake, and the top of the third. Number 3, their catcher, Dylan Plogman, who spent a lot of time behind the plate already in this ball game, catching the battling Jack Lemongelli on the mound. Skirtic as Plogman shows bunt, and it's in there for, well, actually out there for a ball. Lefty versus righty. Plogman lifting one to left, back to the wall, and it is gone. Dylan Plogman, the number 9 hitter. Lifts the spirits of the visiting crowd as he got a high pitch, and he went with it. The solo shot, cutting this lead in half, pumps up Harvard-Westlake 2-1. And Wow, he's going to get a gold chain as a celebration. Look at that. Never seen that. Unbelievable. Does he have to keep that on the whole game now? Might work against them. But Plogman, I think it was right over that 1964 Goosen sign. And if you believe in momentum, that's how you do it with one swing of the bat. Now a 2-1 ball game. Top of the third, back to the top of the order. Pete Crow Armstrong had the single, did have the base running gaff, but he's a very talented young man with an established high school career swinging the bat. Like I said, he's already committed to Vanderbilt. One count. Taking 1 and 2. Count even. Crow Armstrong also played for the USA 15 and under national team. And he goes opposite field, but a nice job in left field. Chasing it down is Devin Ornelas. There's a look. Ornelas moving to his right for the first out. Swinging at the first pitch is Drew Bowser, who flied out to Ornelas as well, his first time up. Bowser, a Stanford commit. Talk about the level of talent all over the field. You mentioned all these, well, I mentioned all these players already committed to Division I programs. Bowser only a sophomore, 6'3". And Skirdick crafting one for the second strike. Missing outside. 1 and 2. Roller to first. Berman takes it. Holds off his pitcher. 2 outs. Three unassisted on the putout if you're scoring at home. There's Bowser. Berman with the Heisman to Skirdick. Friendly. A friendly Heisman. Here's R.J. Schreck. Popped up in what turned into a double play to end the first inning when the runner was thrown out as well. Shrek drops a base hit right in front of Whiteside. Sunset Group Realty Replay, just a sweet swing, pulling that ball to right field. And here's number 9, the DH J.P. Corrigan, singled in the second inning. The Wolverines now just one swing from taking a lead. They've got these power hitters in the middle of the lineup. We saw their number 9 man hit a solo drive to start this inning. Skritic doesn't exactly throw extreme heat. He's more of an off-speed, relying on his curveball. 2-0 count. Checking the runner. The pitch. 3-0. Corrigan. Some good discipline in the cleanup spot. We are in the top of the third inning from Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. And a 3-0 pitch is in there for a strike. Now I would look probably from Skritic here. If he can drop that curve in the outside corner. And he tried, but missing outside, and now first and second. Wolverines are in business. Tommy Barris in the infield, along with Coach Tom Dill, will visit the mound.
We're going to keep hitter off second. Right, we're here. Let him go. Side.
So back to action. Skritic remains on the mound. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. The dangerous Loyola Marymount commit Lauren Frank up to bat. Frank taking a cut, just gets a piece of it. So I was mentioning, which I believe was true, that Frank was a UC Berkeley commit last year. Either way, this is the story I wanted to tell you. So over the course of the football season, we covered J.T. Shrout, a quarterback of Hart High School up in Valencia. And he was a Cal commit all year, but then just a couple of weeks, I think, before, or days before the signing day, he got a direct message on Twitter from the University of Tennessee saying, we want you to come play quarterback for us. And he ended up signing a letter of intent to be a volunteer. That's the team name, not technically a volunteer. University of Tennessee. Strout was kind of a passing camp darling in the offseason. A lot of ex-pro quarterbacks vouched for him, saying this kid's got it. And now he's going to be playing his college ball in the SEC. But back to baseball. Connor Skirdick working on a 1-1 count, even, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Tightly contested ball game, 2-1 in the top of the third. Lauren Frank outside, 2-1. And just to correct myself, I guess Hart is technically in Santa Clarita. Newhall. Newhall, if we're going to be exact. We're in Sherman Oaks right now. Count even, 2-2. Skirdick trying to get out of the jam. His coach just visited the mound moments ago. 1 out away, hanging on to that 2-1 lead. In what most would say are the top 2 teams of the Mission League. One of the best high school baseball leagues in the area, in the state, probably the country, folks. Full count. Skirdick with the payoff pitch. Runner goes, and a big strikeout as Frank knew he was fooled on that one. Just didn't have his timing down. So they do lead off the inning with that solo home run from Dylan Plogman, but Skirdick breathing a sigh of relief, getting out of the jam. No further damage. Notre Dame still on top 2-1 in the middle of the third inning here on LivePlaySports.tv. So their big hitter Frank struck out twice today. Skirdick coming through. And Jack Lemongelli will remain on the mound in the bottom of the third for Harvard-Westlake.
Leading off, hole of the ninth, number 27, first baseman, Grant Berman.
27 Grant Berman, after his RBI single in the first inning, gets his second at bat in the bottom of the third. Lemongelli, the pitch, Berman, right down the left field line. That will stay fair. Alec Moss sending Berman around first to second with a stand-up lead-off double. Your Sunset Group Realty replay. Berman swinging away. You see that ball roll all the way to the fence before. RJ Schreck finally gets to it. And that'll bring up Michael Whiteside with nobody out. You have to wonder, is Lemon Jelly winding down with fatigue? He will be challenged by Whiteside. Whiteside flied out to center in his first at bat. Whiteside lifts one to right center. Crow Armstrong covering some ground is under it. And he's got a nice arm from center field. And he runs down with that cannon, Grant Berman. And boy, there you see why Pete Crow Armstrong is a Division I college player to be. Whiteside off the bat. Crow Armstrong running more towards right center and then catches it, and then check this out. Couple of steps, but the ball starts flying. He's got some velocity on that one. Perfectly placed for the tag at third by Lauren Frank. That's a thing of beauty, folks. Pete Crow Armstrong with plenty of space to make the tag. Grant Berman saying, wow. I'd say the most interesting thing about that play was Crow Armstrong. He actually took a beat and a couple of steps before he threw it and still gunned down Berman. Noah Taylor flat out in the first inning. Already a full count to Taylor. Sorry, was caught up in the just impressive play by Crow Armstrong. Big strikeout. Lemon Jelly pumped up after that. So Berman had the leadoff double, but then Crow Armstrong atoning for his early base running mistake by not allowing the base runner to get the third for the second out and the third out on that one play. And then Lemon Jelly with a strikeout on Noah Taylor. First scoreless inning of the game for the Knights. After three, still up 2-1 here on liveplaysports.tv.
Top of the fourth inning. Leading off for Harvard-Westlake. Number 6, second baseman, Michael Snyder.
Top of the fourth, Connor Skirdick still on the mound. Up to bat. Number 6, second baseman, Michael Snyder, who is 1 for 1 on the afternoon with a base hit. Skerdick ahead in the count, 0-2. Fouled on the third base side. Outside for the first ball of the at-bat. Grounder, taking a stab at it in the outfield is the second baseman, Reyes. But Snyder is on.
Not to play number 33, first baseman Calvin Koo.
And that will be registered as the second hit of the day for Snyder. 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. Calvin Koo, who also singled his first at bat, steps to the plate. Koo squares the bunt. Ball one. Checking on Snyder. The stands are full here, folks. Now that I glance out the window, both schools well represented. The bunt is popped up, comes from behind the plate. Tommy Barris makes the catch. Good look at that. That's not what you want to do. It just lifted off the bat, and Koo looks back to see Barris thrown off the helmet. Make the grab. Looks like a pinch hitter for Harvard-Westlake. On the roster, it says he's number 5, a senior, 6'2", Davis Ford. Takes the first pitch and then looks at the dugout for further advice. Man on first, 1 out. Skerdick looks to first, looks home, the pitch. Two and 0. Waving at that for a strike. Look at that. As you see, Ford. I don't know if that's a signal between coach and player or if that's just him. Again, he's doing it again. That's how he gets his footing. A little rotation. Every hitter has some little quirk. Every pitcher, too. The Book of Baseball Superstitions is filled with many pages. Strike, full count. I don't think I covered this early on. Skurtic came into the game with a 1.50 ERA, 3-1 record. Here he goes, and a big strikeout on the pinch hitter, Davis Ford, as he heads back to the dugout. Third strikeout of the game for Skurtic. Swing and a miss. Gives him 37 now on the season. In just over 35 innings pitched. One count. Snyder, who led off the inning with a single, still at first base. And Skurtic drops it in the zone again. There's a look at the crowd. We've got that great kind of patio area above the dugout with the turf where you saw the fans can just kind of lean on and watch the game. Dylan Plogman is the man up. We know what he did last time. Hit that solo home run over the left field wall on a ball left up in the zone by Skurtic, so I'm sure Skurtic has taken note. Seen him already in this at-bat try to work the low outside corner because Plogman really took advantage of the location of that ball, lifted it. It was already high in the zone, and he just carried it over the head of the left fielder, Devin Ornelas, for the only run thus far for the visitors. 2-2 count. Don't know if the book on Plogman coming into the game was a high ball hitter, but it probably is now. And you see Skurtic trying to come from the outside in with his off-speed pitches. His breaking pitch, usually the curve. Good look from the scaffolding cameraman on the first base side. The pitch to third, fielded across the diamond. Berman has to leap, and he can't field it either as Vaquero made the stop, but then ball gets away, and now Harvard-Westlake runners on the corners, and Notre Dame probably a little lucky that nobody came home on that. So Vaquero making the stop, you see. Hard hit ball. I think it was a one hop. Berman taking off the bag. And he has to chase it down. So that'll be the throwing error on Vaquero from third base. And so another opportunity presenting itself for Harvard-Westlake. Two outs, but in a 2-1 ball game, you know they want to capitalize. And Pete Crow Armstrong, who's already lived a couple of plot twists in this game with a mental mistake on the base paths, but then that phenomenal throw from center field to throw out Grant Berman, now has a chance to be quite a hero. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a fly out. Only a sophomore. Skirdick, the pitch. Armstrong fouls it into the netting. So Skirdick has him where he wants him. 0-2. Two outs. Skirdick. The pitch. Armstrong, slow roller to second. Fielded. They have to throw him out quick. He's got speed. Berman can't get it. And the run comes home to tie the game. Sorry, folks. I was trying to track down what happened. Our monitor going in and out as well. We'll see on the replay. Over to Berman. Oh, and the runner looks like he ran through Berman's glove, and the glove went off the hand of Berman. How often do you see that? Right at the point the ball was in the basket of the glove. Check this out. The runner runs through the glove. And that's, I think, after the runner touched the base, which would be just him running through the play. He runs through the glove. Sorry, on our replay in the monitor booth, we're having it in and out, so I'm not exactly seeing. Trying to track this for you. So, not seeing much deliberation on the field. Just the Notre Dame fielders talking to Connor Skirdick. The score is 2-2. And that will be scored in error in some manner. Skirdick, the pitch. Getting away from Varys. Varys, runners stay at first and second. 1-0 count at bat. Number 2, Drew Bowser, the shortstop. Bowser, and making the catch with the adjustment is Noah Taylor, keeping this a tie game. So an adventurous top of the 4th. Harvard-Westlake is able to even it out. 2 runs to 2 runs. We're in the middle of the 4th inning at Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in this Mission League matchup as Noah Taylor ends the threat for the Wolverines. Welcome back to the bottom of the 4th inning here on LivePlaySports.tv. In a 2-2 ball game, Notre Dame sends up number 2, left fielder Devin Ornelas, who had a double and a run scored. His first at bat, Jack Lemongelli. Ornelas lifting one foul, but far. As giving chase in left field is R.J. Schreck. Lemongelli has battled this ball game. His pitch count is up there, but giving up 2 runs on 4 hits. His team right in this ball game tied up. And right back up the middle, Devin Ornelas with his 2nd hit of the game. And coming around after that 284 freshman campaign, he's had his struggles this season, getting well today. Boy, just lined that one right up the middle. No doubt about it. That'll bring up 18, Diego Baquero, the 3rd baseman, who has a single as well. Baquero squares the bunt. Drew Litwin on deck, showing bunt again. Backing off is Vaquero as the pitch is high and inside. Well, now 1-1. Ornelas, good lead off first. 1-2. Vaquero still showing bunt. They check the runner. This has got to be the biggest crowd we've seen here in 2018. Very evenly matched. Mission League ball clubs. And Vaquero pounds the bat because as he scored up for the bunt on the third strike, see, the rule is, folks, if you don't know, as he got a piece of it, that's strike 3. So Vaquero is out number 1.
Now batting, number 10. Shortstop, Drew Litwin.
Drew Litwin comes up his first time up. He was behind in the count, worked it all the way up to a walk. Senior. Sliding. Back into first is Ornelas. Want to know? Litwin showing bunt as well, 2-0. Runner on, nobody out. Anybody's ball game. Bottom of the 4th inning from Notre Dame High School, just off Riverside Drive. They check the runner at first. Jack Lemongelli, the junior right-handed pitcher. He's been the starter since the start of the ball game, as well as Connor Skirdick on the other side. We've seen no relief pitchers for either team thus far. Coach Tom Dill in the Notre Dame dugout, Jared Halpert in the Harvard-Westlake dugout. The pitch, Litwin, fair down the left field line as he pulls that ball. And sliding headfirst, pounding the bag, a pumped-up senior Drew Litwin has himself a double. Talk about the improvement of Drew Litwin this year as a hitter. He has raised that average considerably since last season. He was a defensive stalwart at third base for the 2017 Mission League champions. But here you see on the Sunset Group Realty replay, just pulling that one down the left field line. The umpire says that ball is fair. And Litwin is on his horse, turning that corner. There's number 2, Devin Ornelas. And on the other angle, you see Third baseman diving to his right to no avail. Lauren Frank. And now I think we may be seeing our first pitching change.
Now pitching for Harvard-Westlake, number 22, Bryant Reese.
And we do. So Harvard-Westlake going to the bullpen. Number 22, 5'10", left-handed junior Bryant Reese. I think you're seeing the replay again. And the umpire letting everyone know, fair ball.
Everything you could want at the snack bar, just outside the stadium right behind home court.
Reese takes his warm-ups. So the starter, Jack Lemongelli, he does go 3 1/3 innings. Thus far, gave up 2 runs and 6 hits on 1 error. But he will be of record of the base runners now at 2nd and 3rd when we resume action. That's the way baseball stats work, folks. So you see if Reese gives up a hit here and those Notre Dame runners score, that'll actually count against the earned run average of the starter Lemongelli because he let those runners on. I'm sure some of you were saying, I already knew that, but some maybe didn't. So try to give you a little bit of an overview of the game and how it works, especially in a heavily stat era we live in. So much baseball analytics these days. Exit velocity, like how many miles an hour the ball is coming off the bat. That's something for you to Google as well. I can go on and on, but we've got a ball game here, 2-2, tied up, 1 out. First pitch coming up for Bryant Reese, the reliever. And the batter for Notre Dame, number 1, Dominic Allegretti, pinch hitter, 5'10" junior. Allegretti turns to second, but nobody's covering the bag. Allegretti lifts it, the shallow center coming all the way in. Losing his hat is Rowe Armstrong for the out.
Now the plate, coming on, second baseman, Reyes.
So you see Crow Armstrong covering so much ground out in center. Has to come in for that one. And he does. For out number 2. Dylan Plogman wants to talk to his relief pitcher, Bryant Reese. They will elect to walk the leadoff man, Dalen Reyes, intentionally.
Intentional walk. Now batting number 15, the designated hitter, R.J. Gordon.
That'll bring up the DH, R.J. Gordon. He has a fielder's choice and a strikeout, looking for his first hit of the afternoon. And with the bases now loaded, this would be the time to get it. Bryant Reese looks in, hanging that left arm down. Here comes The 0-0 pitch, is fouled off into the netting. 0-1. 2-2 game. Bottom of the 4th inning. The Notre Dame Knights, your home team. The Harvard-Westlake Wolverines in the gray, your visitors. R.J. Gordon to second. Fielded over to first. They get the 3rd out of the inning, and they get out of the jam. So the intentional walk pays off. The pitching change pays off. And this game is still tied at 2-2 after 4. Here on LivePlaySports.tv, I'm Patrick O'Sullivan. It's high school baseball. We're scheduled for 7. Your Sunset Group Realty replay. We've got a good one here in this Mission League matchup as Dylan Plogman, who has a solo home run, takes out the catcher's mask to let his teammates know. Good job, guys. We're out of this one. Let's go do some hitting. Connor Skirdick still on the hill for Coach Tom Dill. Notre Dame Knights sophomore lefty.
Top of the 5th inning in a 2-2 ball game. Leading off for the Wolverines, number 12, left fielder R.J. Shrek.
Number 12, R.J. Shrek will lead things off in the top of the 5th. He's 1 for 2 on the afternoon. First pitch swing, lifts it. In center, under it is Noah Taylor. Taylor battling the sun. As you saw last inning, it was 70 degrees. Check up on that for you. Looks like 68 now. Sunset scheduled for 7:26 p.m. if you're wondering. First pitch strike. Skirdick on. Number 9, the DH JP Corrigan. He's got a single and a walk. Just missing. 1-1. And make it 2-1. Hitters count to Corrigan. Lauren Frank on deck, who struck out twice today, but one of the top hitters for Harvard-Westlake. Corrigan with that upright bat in front of him takes the walk. His second of the afternoon, so Corrigan 3 plate appearances, 3 times on base. Will Frank finally get around on Skirtic? Sometimes it takes a couple of times, especially for power hitters, to get their timing down against certain pitchers. There's actually a kind of baseball trend going on in the majors where I think the Phillies are the team instituting this, where they don't really believe, according to statistics and analytics, that their pitcher should face a batter more than twice in any given game. I don't know if they stick that exactly, but it's out there. Different philosophies depending on the front office manager. Some old school, some new school, some a mix of both. Skirtic with a runner on again, 1 out. Frank still can't get around on it. 0-2. And then sometimes there are just certain guys that have another player's number. And could we be looking at that with Skirtic and Frank today? Outside, 1-2. The 1-2 offering coming. Here it is. Missing outside. 2-2. Frank also a product of the Pacific Baseball Academy. On the USA Baseball National Team, 17 and under. Full count. Skirtic. Glance to first. Looking to set down Frank for the 3rd time today. Here comes the lefty. Frank taking. Draws himself a walk, so he finally wins a battle with Connor Skirtic. Now runners on first and second for Harvard-Westlake. Oh, by the way, Jalen Parks, now the catcher, as I see. And he visits the mound for Notre Dame. Tommy Barris started the game. And Coach Dill not emerging from the dugout, so just a powwow at the mound between the fielders. Actually, I spoke too soon. Here he comes. So will there be a pitching change on the other side? We have seen no relievers for the Knights. Harvard-Westlake making the change in the last half inning, which paid off. But Coach Dill says, Connor Skirtic, you're my guy today. Battle tested. Can he come through again? 1 out.
Now that number 6, second baseman Michael Snyder.
And interesting, Dill choosing to leave Skurdick in against Snyder, who's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. 2 runners on. So big spot here for young sophomore Connor Skurdick. As the temperature dips to 66. Parks behind the plate. Parks keeping that ball in front of him again. 2-0 count. Calvin Koo on deck also has a hit today. Now a 3-0. Double play situation if they can get a grounder off the bat of Snyder. They've got a good duo up the middle with Reyes and Litwin. And he walks him. So Snyder also on for the 3rd time today. And so now Coach Dill out to the hill, and this will probably be it for Connor Skurdick as he takes the walk from the mound to the dugout with a nice ovation from the home crowd. Skurdick keeping his team very much in this ball game. Still only 2-2. The bases are loaded. Who will they turn to? And it will be number 22. The right-hander, Ian White. White, a senior, standing 6 feet tall. As White takes his warm-up tosses to Jalen Parks. These two teams will play Friday, the 3rd game of the series at Harvard-Westlake at 3:30 p.m. And White did pitch to just one batter yesterday and got the out. He's logged 22 and a third innings this season. Giving up 5 runs, 4 earned, 15 strikeouts. Coming in with a 2-0 record and a 1.25 earned run average. Calvin Koo steps up to bat. He's got a single, and he popped up to the catcher on a bunt attempt in his last at bat. But now he's got the bases loaded. The table is set with 1 out in a 2-2 ball game. Ian White called upon to get out of the jam that Connor Skirdick has set up with these base runners for Harvard-Westlake. White, the right-hander, to the right-handed hitter Koo. First pitch, strike 1. And after the first pitch, Parks maybe saw something, wants to talk to his man Ian White. Just a quick little exchange between catcher and pitcher. Koo with that open stance. Adjusts his foot during the swing as he starts it with that front foot facing left field. And as the pitch comes, at least on that at bat, he plants it dead set up the middle. Top of the 5th inning here on liveplaysports.tv. Ian White looking in for Parks. Parks, though, getting instruction from the dugout as every pitch takes on more importance in a situation like this one. Way above the head of the batter. 1-2. I don't think that was the pitch they called. White taking his time. The signal from Parks. Koo trying to size up the reliever. Koo. And he goes opposite field with a base hit. Harvard-Westlake takes their first lead of the ball game, 3-2. As J.P. Corrigan scores with the go-ahead run. Brings up Sam Biller, 31, the right fielder. Grounded out, and he's only at bat he was pinch hit for last time up. Of course, via the high school rules, you can come back into the game. You see the replay on the nice opposite field single by Calvin Koo, which right now is the difference in the ball game. Biller, that one not only drops but gets behind the left fielder. Noah Taylor from center has to chase it down behind him, throw home, and Harvard-Westlake is doing damage here in the top of the 5th inning. As that will be a single for Biller. 2 more runs score, 5-2, just like that. Here's your replay. Sam Biller, as you see, looks like he lost the ball in the sun, number 2, Devin Ornelas, but he didn't really have the right plane he was moving on either. Noah Taylor, luckily, to prevent further damage, chases it down behind him, gets the ball in the infield, but they had no shot at the plate as run number 2 scores. Run number 3 of the inning. as Ian White has relieved Connor Skirdick. And the Harvard-Westlake bats have come alive, and that's just bat on ball right up the middle for another base hit. Bases loaded, one away. Harvard-Westlake says this is our inning. That was Plogman. What a game for him, huh? Home run, reached on an air, and a single. Back to the top of the order we go. To the standout center fielder, Pete Crow Armstrong, trying to collect his second hit of today's ball game. One out. White steps off the mound, and Coach Tom Dill steps out of the dugout. And that will be it for Ian White. Short day for White. And who do they call upon? Looks to be number 28. The right-handed junior, 6'2". Michael. I'm going to wait for Kevin Maher, the PA announcer, to tell me the actual enunciation. So the suspense here, folks, is this is Michael. Stand by as you look at the crowd. It's Michael Afadian. There we go. Get the numbers for you on Afadian this season. 2-0, mainly in a bullpen role. I think all in a bullpen role with a 1.20 ERA. Opponents hitting only .095 against him. That's the batting average. And they need some of that magic right here. There you see the Notre Dame hats, sweatshirts, some of the snack bar goodies. Gotta have the sunglasses out in SoCal, even at 5:43 p.m. Parents and students. And of course in the background, what would it be without traffic? Look at the traffic. There we go. Cars, 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 cars. LA. And here we go. Afadian inheriting a bases loaded situation. Trying to contain this Harvard-Westlake big inning. They've plated 3. They're up 5-2. Crow Armstrong, 1-0 count. The righty, Afadian. Looked in, and it looks like maybe he got something in his eye. Says, gotta reset myself. You see Koo creeping into your screen with the leadoff third. Afadian finding the zone. 1-1. your Sunset Group Realty replay. Afadian just gets it to drop right down the middle. And Crow Armstrong knows it. Count even. Looking for that double play ball, ideally. Waving the bat, Crow Armstrong. The pitch. Just missing. 2-1. Looks like some Little Leaguers have showed up in the stands as well, as we see those uniforms on the first base side. Umpire calls time, or somebody did. Getting the signal from the ump. And there you see the Little Leaguers walking right behind home plate. Armstrong swing, and wow, I actually forgot the net was in front of me, and that ball came right at my eye line. Just kind of popped back. Two-two count. Drew Bowser on deck. Afadian checks over to third, but Koo back in, standing up. Crowd has quieted a bit. Tension built by this somewhat sudden 3-run lead by Harvard-Westlake, the visitors. Afadian getting a piece of it. Crow Armstrong keeping this count alive. Notre Dame still has 3 more chances to hit. Of course, 7 innings. And they get the ups in the bottom of the 7th if they need it. Top of the 5th is the matter at hand right now that they would love to stop any further runs from crossing home plate. Afadian, and he gets a big strikeout on Crow Armstrong. Up and down day for that young man. Here's your replay. Afadian. That one just kind of drifts away from Crow Armstrong. And here's Bowser. Bowser, 0 for 2. Mentioned he is committed to the Stanford Cardinal, but a lot of high school ball left for this young man. As he is only a sophomore. Bases still loaded, 2 outs. Afadian taking his time, looking in at Jalen Parks. The pitch, high, ball 1, 1-1. Foul down the third base side. 1-2. Fadian looking calm on the mound. Can't get Bowser to chase. 2-2. And it's that time of the game, too, where you see that shadow covering the home plate area, yet the sun still basking down on the infield, which can be tough for hitters to pick up the ball as it crosses that plane. Calvin Koo with the batting gloves in the back pocket. Michael Afadian. The pitch. Staying alive, Drew Bowser. See the mechanics of Afadian. Nice extension and follow through on his delivery. Afadian serves up the 2-2 once again. Bowser rips one to left center, chasing it down, can't get to it. Devin Ornelas all the way to the wall. Harvard-Westlake. And it is a big time 3-run double for Drew Bowser, making this an 8-2 ball game. So Bowser battled that at bat to stay alive, fouling off pitches. He finally got the pitch to hit, and he drove one to left center that Ornelas could not get to. And all of a sudden, all his teammates are in the dugout scoring 3 runs, and he stands on second base with 3 RBIs and a double at Fadian. The expression says it all. He knew it, as he got good bat on that and just the right place. Ornelas can't get to it. Still 2 outs. 12th hit of the day for the Wolverines on 8 runs. Number 12, R.J. Schreck, has one of those 12 hits. He steps in. 0-1, early count to him. One ball, one strike. Afadian trying to shake off that double. Fouled off the bat of Schreck. The 1-2 offering outside. 2-2. Big lead off second for Bowser. And Afadian. The umpire says, as the ball hit Schreck, the umpire says that, I think he's saying Schreck leaned into it. So it will count as a ball as Schreck And the coach coming out to talk to the umpire about that call as it's a judgment caller right here we go. And you do see him raise the tiptoe a little bit, but the ball, I think the question is, even if he didn't do that, would the ball hit him? So it probably would have hit him, but he didn't do himself a favor by raising that. But let's see this. It's just that he's kind of showing the umpire a little bit with his body language that he is leaning into it, but the ball may have hit him anyway. So he remains in the batter's box. That's a ball, full count, 3-2, 2 outs, man on second. Afadian. Umpire says time. So not really a heated discussion, just wanted an explanation from the dugout. Jared Halpert. Pulls one foul. Right back up the middle, another base hit and another run. So, RJ Schreck joins the party with an RBI. He's 2 for 4 in the afternoon. Drew Bowser scoring from second, making it a 9-2 Harvard-Westlake lead. There's a replay. Just a hard hit ball up the middle. So the rocky exit by Skurdik, the short, ineffective relief appearance by Ian White, and now Afadian, who looked like he had calmed the storm for a moment, is battling to escape the inning himself. J.P. Corrigan, who's been on base every at-bat, a single and 2 walks. You see he's only getting a little bit of sunlight on that shoulder and neck. Afadian. Inside. 2-1. 7-run inning thus far. Called strike, 2-2. Fadian looking to first. Slow roller charging from short. Litwin to Berman for out number 3. So in the top of the 5th, Harvard-Westlake has rewritten the script for this ball game. We were locked in a 2-2 tie. They explode for 7 runs. That's your final out, but keyed by that 3-run double from Drew Bowser. And then a series of walks and singles. They find themselves with a 7-run lead in this battle for pole position in the Mission League. We head to the bottom of the 5th. The Notre Dame Knights will need the bats to come alive as they look to rally on their home field here at Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. And they'll have to do it against the reliever who came in last inning, Bryant Reese, number 22, staying on the mound. So the 4-3 ball game yesterday looked like this was the kind of game we were going to have today as well until the top of the fifth. And now it's going to have to be a high-scoring ball game overall for Notre Dame to get back into this one. But they've got talent up and down the lineup. And still plenty of baseball left. Here on LivePlaySports.tv, I mentioned we cover all these Notre Dame home games all season long from this beautiful facility in Sherman Oaks. And you can watch them back as well on our website. Right there, top left of your screen. So can Grant Berman ignite the offense? He's 2 for 2 today. Berman, the third, long throw, but they get him. Lauren Frank taking care of business as Berman is retired for the first time today.
Now playing number 19, right fielder, Michael Whiteside.
Brings up 19, Michael Whiteside. He's got 2 flyouts to center. First pitch strike by Reese. Oh, 2. Whiteside takes 1 and 2. Just missing. Harvard-Westlake, the Harvard School for Boys, established in 1900. The Westlake School for Girls, established in 1904. Talk about some history. 2-2 count. The two schools fully merged in 1991. Full count. Whiteside draws a walk.
Now batting number 11, center fielder, Noah Taylor.
Noah Taylor gets his chance with a runner on in the bottom of the fifth. Looking for his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 2. Taylor also the quarterback of Notre Dame's football team. And his football teammate, Michael Whiteside, stands on first base. Lefty versus lefty. Taking strike 1 is Taylor. Fouled and think a barehanded catch by one of the Harvard-Westlake coaches, drawing some applause and oohs and ahs from the gray jerseys. Taylor, Shopper to first. Over to second. They try to go back to first, but nobody covering the bag, so they hold up. They get the lead runner, but Taylor is on. Sunset Group Realty Replay. Reese the pitch. Fielded by Koo. To Bowser. But Bowser, he knows better than that. 2 outs, man on for Devin Ornelas. He's 2 for 2 with a double and a single. Over the head, has to duck down. Ornelas. 2-0. Don't have to get them all at once. Notre Dame would love to just chip away if they can. Bring that runner home, down 9-2. 3-0 count. Ornelas taking, and it's in for a strike. 3-1 count. Reese, the fastball. Ornelas, grounded to second, moving to his right, flips it for out number 3. Snyder to Bowser. And Notre Dame with their 3rd straight scoreless inning after opening the game with a run apiece in the first and the second. But the story thus far after 5 is that 7-run inning by Harvard-Westlake in the top of the 5th. As you look at the putout, it's 9-2. Mission League Baseball. The Wolverines from Studio City's Harvard-Westlake on top of the Sherman Oaks team, Notre Dame High. And it'll be another, I believe, new pitcher for Notre Dame. Indeed, it's number 24, Cole Dale, the right-handed junior, 6'2", UCLA commit. Dale, almost exclusively a reliever, 1.50 earned run average coming in. He's pitched 14 innings on the season, giving up 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned. Walked 7 and struck out 14. Lauren Frank will lead off. All 3 of his at-bats came against starter Connor Skirdick. He struck out twice and did draw a walk his last time up. So we'll see if he fares better with the bat against the Notre Dame bullpen. Takes ball 1 from Coaldale. Taking a big cut there, but doesn't get the barrel of the bat. Fouled off. If you haven't gotten to take a look at a highlight, I suggest looking at Bryce Harper's broken bat 406-foot home run the other night. Look that one up. The ball flew and the bat flew. 2-1. Nobody out. And Frank might be thinking home run in this at bat. More of a luxury with a 9-2 lead. He's got the power. Rolls foul. Talk about the history of Harvard School opening in 1900. Clearly one of their early alums. Shirley Temple.
Excuse me, sir.
Dale the pitch. Frank takes. Good eye. Full count. And he lifts a pop-up. Looked like a bit of traffic out there between the infielders, but coming up with it is Dalen Reyes.
Now play number 6, second baseman Michael Snyder.
Michael Snyder, 2 singles and a walk. He's done his job today. Snyder gets a hold of one foul, but oh boy, what a ride it took. Drawing a reaction from the crowd. I think that's the football field. Yeah, I see a goalpost. It's got to be. But he hit that one some distance. Just a bit early on it. Dale sneaks in a strike 1 and 2. Make it 2 and 2. Other Harvard-Westlake alum, actress Jamie Lee Curtis. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti. And a big swing and a miss strikeout. Coaldale registers on Michael Snyder as he's set down for the first time today. So that is probably a matter of taking advantage of the eagerness of Snyder. He hit that ball a mile foul right before that. And it looks like he was licking his chops right here, saying, if I could just get a hold of one, big cut. But getting it by him, he swung under it. Nice job by Cole Dale. Lifted by Calvin Koo. Running in from first with a basket catch is Grant Berman. So Notre Dame keeps this score the same, 9-2. In the middle of the 6th inning, Harvard-Westlake on top here on LivePlaySports.tv. Few empty seats, but most people sticking around. A little dancing. A lot of dancing. And they both have like red or orange hooded sweatshirts. It's kind of like a dance team uniform. Oh, little spin. Eh. Just got a new member too. Boy, infectious out here. I always got to take a call in the middle of dancing, though. Never know. What is it? Maybe it's the choreographer saying, let's go to that other move we rehearsed before the game.
Leading off for tonight, number 18, third baseman, Diego Vaquero.
A good shot at Bryant Reese's Nike socks as he remains on the mound in relief of the starter, Jack Lemongelli. Vaquero, liner softly to second for out number 1. Caught by Michael Snyder. Drew Litwin, shortstop, has a double and a walk in today's game. Litwin's future plans, he wants to become an attorney, but will first major in business as an undergrad this fall at a school to be determined. Chopper brings the pitcher off the mound. Reese can't field it, has to recover. Quick throw over to first. The extension, but Litwin is safe. And the verdict for the future attorney Litwin is a base hit. As he would have beat that throw. Well, he does beat that throw. Jalen Parks getting his first at bat after the substitution coming in as a catcher for starter Tommy Barris. Pretty evenly placed platoon of those two young men behind the plate handling this pitching staff. Parks fouls it off. Talk about Litwin planning on becoming an attorney. Jalen Parks in his future. He's looking at medical school, wants to become a sports physician. Takes a ball, count even, 2-2. Runner on first, down 9-2, trying to come up with a rally with one out in the bottom of the sixth. Harvard-Westlake 7-0 in the Mission League. Notre Dame 6-1. Parks the grounder. They can turn two. They will turn two. So Bryant Reese gets out of it unscathed. Harvard-Westlake after 6. Still up 9-2. You are watching LivePlaySports.tv, and there's your double play. 6-4-3.
Top of the seventh inning. Leading off for Harvard-Westlake. Number 31, right fielder Sam Biller.
So number 31, Sam Biller, will lead off the top of the 7th inning for Harvard-Westlake. Cole Dale remains on the mound for Notre Dame, their 4th pitcher of the afternoon. Biller lifts it to left. Ornelas with the catch.
Not play number 3, catcher Dylan Plogman.
Dylan Plogman, the catcher. Home run, single, reached on an air. And been behind the plate all game long. It was a solo shot. Off Connor Skirdick. Plogman up the middle. And from their number 9 hitter today. He has delivered big time. 4 times up, 4 times on base. 1 time he rounded the bases. Pete Crow Armstrong back to the top of the order. 1 for 3. Dale over his shoulder with a glance. The pitch. Drops in front of the plate, fooling Armstrong. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Only 3 more league opponents after this series for Notre Dame. Alemany, Crespi, and Chaminade. All 3-game series. But the footnote to all this, no excuses. You wouldn't find those from this Notre Dame program, but pitcher Lucas Gordon, the Max Preps National Freshman of the Year last season, yet to pitch this year. So they had to try to win every game without their ace on the hill. It's a walk. Runners on first and second. And here's Bowser, who had the 3-run double his last time up, which really broke this game open and changed the tone of the whole stadium. In that big 7-run fifth. How about that for a trivia answer? Both starting shortstops today named Drew. Bowser and Litwin. Actually last week, or a couple weeks ago. Well, no, it was last week. Bowser named the SoCal Prep Legends Boys Athlete of the Week. He came up big in the Boris Classic. One the pitch, just inside the shoulder of Bowser. Kind of shakes that off. Wolverines had a big win over Santiago of Riverside, a 1-0 game in the Boys Classic, and Bowser had the only RBI. Two-two. Dale with runners on first and second. Up the middle again. Racing to his left, the flip. Oh, trying to barehand it was Dalen Reyes, because that might have been his only shot at turning 2, but everybody's safe. Scored that the 15th hit for Harvard-Westlake. RJ Schreck, 2 for 4, steps in. Schreck takes a strike. Dale delivers outside, 1-2. Schreck also made the LA Times All-Star team last season. Looking to duplicate that success this year. Chopper to first to Berman. Berman steps on the bag, but it'll be double digits now as the 10th run comes home for Harvard-Westlake. J.P. Corrigan. Single and 2 walks. Out his last time up. And Dale plucks Corrigan. So Corrigan's really found a way to get on base today. Hit by pitch, 2 base on balls, and a single. Lauren Frank. Oh for 3 with a walk. So they put up these 10 runs without one of their big hitters, Frank, really doing any damage. Jalen Parks keeps that ball in front of him. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Cole Dale trying to finish off this inning and give his team one last chance. Two balls, 1 strike. Two, Dale the pitch. Count is full. Looks like we dipped or stayed steady, at least 66 degrees with a 10-mile-an-hour wind to the south. Lights have just come on. Dale, Frank, fouled off into the concrete. parking lot at NDHS. Dale once again to Frank. And he strikes him out. So they load the bases. They do get that one run. But it's 10-2 heading to the bottom of the seventh. Do the Notre Dame Knights have a mighty, mighty comeback in them? In this Mission League battle for the top of the Mission League. Here's their chance. Here on LivePlaySports.tv, I'm Patrick O'Sullivan from Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. The Knights will have to build a big, big rally against Harvard-Westlake as they send a new man to the mound. Looks like they turn to number 30, Tyler Gannis, a sophomore, to close this one out. Listed at 6'1". He becomes the third pitcher of the game for Harvard-Westlake, relieving Bryant Reese, who took over for Jack Lemongelli. So we've got sorry folks, we've got a couple of different versions of rosters. One says number 30, Tyler Gannis, but in the actual handwritten lineup card before the game, we think this is now number 31 listed on the rights. Well, we know it's number 30. Follow me on this, okay? I see, you see that it's number 30 out there. What I'm saying is that was not listed as number 30 on the roster. We think this is Michael Golob, G-O-L-O-B. Also a 6'1 junior. So for now, we're going with that. Michael Golob on the mound. Bottom of the seventh. Dalen Reyes at the plate. The pitch. Reyes takes strike one. Reyes with a couple of walks and a fielder's choice. Yet to swing the bat. 1-1. Reyes hard hit to third. Fielded. Frank across the diamond to the 1 foot in the air. Calvin Koo, who gets the out.
Number 15, the DH, R.J. Gordon.
R.J. Gordon, designated hitter, 1 out. Oh for 3. Who we think is Michael Golob on the mound. The pitch. And just missing. 2-1. 3-1. And there we go. We have the official from the crowd. Here we go, Mikey. So that would confirm to me that it is Michael Galop. Hard hit. Getting in front of it. Calvin Koo doing a nice job over at first base for the second out. That's another 3 unassisted. Sunset Group Realty replay. Calvin Koo using his chest to get in the ball to bounce in front of him, not going to the outfield. And he steps on the bag. Grant Berman, possibly the last hope, lifts a pop-up. Koo giving chase. Koo in foul ground. Koo by the netting. Out of our vision, he makes the catch as I see the signal from the umpire. Harvard-Westlake dugout comes out with a bunch of hops in their step. And why not? They take the first 2 games of this 3-game series in a vital Mission League matchup. They won 4-3 yesterday on their home field. They win 10-2 here today. They improved to 16-3 overall in the season, 8-0 in the Mission League. The home team, Notre Dame Knights, dropped to 15-4 and 6-2. How'd they do it? Well, a whole lot of hitting, which really erupted in the 5th inning where they played it 7 runs. They got a 3-run double from Stanford commit Drew Bowser. Their number 9 hitter in the lineup, Dylan Plogman, had a solo home run and 2 more hits, and they got 2 hits each from Calvin Koo, Michael Snyder, and R.J. Schreck. Notre Dame, only 2 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. Harvard-Westlake, 10 runs on 15 hits and 1 error. They fought early, but in the end, they'll have to finish off this series and try to stay in this Mission League race April 20th at 3:30 p.m. Our next coverage for you here on LivePlaySports.tv will be April 24th against Alemany as the Knights start a 3-game series at 3:30 that day. But thanks for tuning in to LivePlaySports.tv as the Wolverines do top the Knights 10-2. Harvard-Westlake is Studio City over Notre Dame, Sherman Oaks. We'll see you soon for more baseball.